My name is Murat Shahin. I work with Toilet Team at UNICEF headquarters. I focus on Ocean Schools programming. Firstly, I would like to set the global status of Ocean Schools. As you are aware, nearly half of the developing countries, do not have information on their existing Ocean Schools coverage. And where there is information, it shows that half of the schools do not have access to water, and again, half of the schools do not have access to sanitation facilities. And less than 5% of the kids wash their hands with soap at critical times at the schools, which shows the alarming condition that the facilities are not there. Even the facilities are there, the hand washing with soap practice does not happen. For scaling up Ocean Schools, there are three key considerations or themes that we need to keep in mind. The first one is we need to target achieving sustainable universal coverage. The second theme is it's a process of learning and doing. There is no one solution that fits for all. And three, it's a process which requires guidance and facilitation. In my presentation, I will try to go deeper on these three main themes. First, achieving sustainable universal coverage. In order to achieve 100% coverage on Ocean Schools programming, first we need to set our standards, the national, district, and local level standards for Ocean Schools programming. Unless the standards are not set, we will not be able to achieve a universal coverage or go on the path to achieve universal coverage. For that, the recently launched UNICEF WHO guidelines on minimum standards is a good document to start to adapt to your conditions. And second, when you have these standards, it's also critical and important to monitor whether those standards are implemented, whether the schools are meeting those standards. And the best mechanism to monitor whether the schools are meeting or whether we are going in the right direction is tapping an existing monitoring and evaluation system. Education Management Information Systems provides an excellent venue for us to tap in and also tap in and include Ocean Schools indicators. For that, you are seeing the WHO UNICEF standards as a startup point and the Education of Ocean Schools monitoring package as a complementary tool to combine the standards with a monitoring system. In a month time, we will have the Ocean Schools monitoring package released, which will help you to engage with the ministries on infusing into existing monitoring systems with Ocean Schools indicators. When I say standards, I'm not dreaming about high-quality standards. At the picture, you will see a hand washing stand in a school in Philippines, which costs like $35, and it's basically a school where there is no running water supply. Then the intervention they found is an overhead bucket with an extension pipe with several holes on the pipe that the students can wash their hands with soap every day. And the Fit for School program in Philippines that I'm referring provides, and it's designed as every day at the assembly, kids wash their hands with soap and enter the school with washing their hands. So there is a regularity, the price is cheap, and there is a system that it can go to scale. And as you all know, the school-led total sanitation experience that we are learning from Nepal experience, which is now replicated and adapted elsewhere, is an excellent example to show that we are going to scale, we are aiming for universal coverage. Second, I was telling that it is scaling up of Ocean Schools is a process of learning and doing. We have the years of experience and expertise on documenting and strengthening our Ocean Schools programming. Lastly, the Southeast Asia Manual on Ocean Schools program was developed in your region, which shows an excellent example how to engage with the teachers, how to run a Ocean Schools program, the hardware and the software facility, and also the equity work in schools and school water and sanitation that was carried out in ROSA is another example that we can learn while doing. And you are seeing on the picture now also an example from Laos on a blue box where every graduating teacher from a pedagogical university receives an orientation and a lesson on how to program and run Washington Schools programming, and in-service teacher trainings are incorporating Washington Schools programming in their capacity building efforts. When I say it's a process of learning and doing, it's critical to link whatever we do with evidence base on the impact of Washington Schools programming, whether we are contributing to improved health of children, whether the worm infestation rates or diarrhea among school kids are reducing in those project or intervention schools, whether the days of absence are reducing in the schools, and whether the school kids are doing better in participating in the real life and getting the messages out of school. So if we link whatever we do to evidence base, we can carry out necessary adjustments to achieve and provide a healthier school environment for school children. Third, I would like to focus on guidance and facilitation. So scaling up Washington Schools programming is not only the technical aspects of the programming or the technical know-how, it's also important to create a network that talks about Washington Schools programming. I would like to show you a network mapping where each individual school or each individual organization is separated from each other. And after years of intervention, after 4 years of intervention, the school teachers, the school networks, organizations, individuals are connected to each other and talking about Washington Schools programming. That's the way we would like to move on Washington Schools programming in creating an enabling environment where we can change the norms that a school cannot be a school without a wash facility, and all children practices safe hygiene practices in and through schools. For that, to achieve this social norm change, we need to engage with various partners, not only with the government, but the other organizations and players as well. The call to action for Washington Schools, which is a global movement, which was launched last year, mobilizes 30 plus partners, and I would like to mention a little bit on our engagement with them, that we have developed 5 thematic groups. An advocacy group working on defining regional or global events where we can tap and advocate for Washington Schools programming. A knowledge group is working on identifying knowledge gaps, developing a common learning agenda on Washington Schools programming, and guiding the implementers with research agenda. The third group works on mapping Washington Schools activities to show what experience is out there, what evidence base is out there, what works in different countries and contexts, so that we can have a central place where we can advocate and learn from different experiences. The fourth thematic group that we formed at the global level is Information Management Group, to create a website and to run a website on disseminating the best practices on Washington Schools programming. The fifth group is the Management Group, which is so-called managing the partnership or the community of practice on Washington Schools programming. So we are trying to move from this kind of engagement where the individuals or organizations are separated from each other to a level that we become a society talking about Washington Schools programming so that all schools are equipped with Washington Schools facilities. To achieve that, we need to be connected to each other. And we need to be connected to each other in a standard way. There are 6 action points that we have identified at the call to action. And scaling up Washington Schools programs requires that we need to work in line with those 6 action points. The first one is we need to increase investment for Washington Schools programs. We need to find ways to engage with the way Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Water allocates budgets so that Washington Schools finds its space, or the private sector or the others. And the second, we need to engage those who set policies at global, national, and local levels so that Washington Schools program got a space for its sustainability. And thirdly, we need to involve multiple stakeholders. It's not only the government, it's not only the students, it is the parent-teacher associations, it is the local society, the faith-based institutions, non-governmental organizations to engage with WASH in Schools programming. Fourth, we need to demonstrate quality WASH in Schools programs, which leads to healthy school environment and which generates local evidence base as well. Fifth, we need to monitor our WASH in Schools coverage so that we can show the progress and share the accountability among us. And the sixth, contribute to evidence base that forms a solid base for making informed decision for policy makers to effectively distribute funds. So if in our WASH in Schools programming, if we are handling those 6 action points, I believe we are ready and we can scale up at the national level. Finally, I would like to say join us in Raising Clean campaign. Therese is there. She will give you more information. I'm sure you can connect to her on the value and importance of joining to monthly WebEx sessions on WASH in Schools, as well as sanitation and hygiene and other program topics. And also, as you know, the e-certificate program on WASH in Schools programs, which is run with Emory University, is targeting Asian continent in the June rollout, and you can connect to Hank and Therese as well on getting a space for your country team. Finally, access to WASH in Schools is a right issue, it's a dignity issue. However, we can scale up, we can mobilize more resources and attention to the sector if we work on developing additional evidence on health and non-health related issues, understand the impacts on WASH in Schools programming, and make everyone from school teachers, from school management to parent-teacher association, the local district management authorities, and at the national level on the importance of realizing our vision, which is every child goes to a school where there's water supply, sanitation, and hygiene. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I wish you a successful meeting